Welcome to Beyond the Press Release, a production of Agoracom, in which we take the time to speak with small cap executives after they put out great news. He's back again because they keep putting out great news. Cam Shell, Chairman CEO, DraganFly, trades both on the NASDAQ and in Canada under the stock symbol DPRO. For those new to the story, as their name kind of implies, they're established in 1988 and considered the oldest commercial drone company in the world. Today, they're recognized as a global UAV leader in hardware, software, logistics, and services. In North America, they're recognized as a leading multi-rotor drone entity. So they're not your recreational drone company that a lot of you might be thinking. They're award-winning, industry leader, tier one clients, too many to name, but industries including law enforcement, public safety, agriculture, industrial sections, mapping, on and on and on. More than just lip service. Here's been the revenue growth. 2019, about 1.4 mil. 2020, about 4.4 mil. 2021, over 7 mil. And 2022 is already proven to be a great success. Why? Well, look, here's just an example. I go through 25 bullet points, but here are the ones that are relevant today. They're the first medical response and search and rescue drones deployed in the Ukraine to help give medical attention to people, find soldiers that are in distress. 10 were delivered upon signing, could go as high as 200 last time we heard when the announcement came out. Why? Well, look, the capabilities that come with not just drones. They develop a vaccine drone delivery payload system to deliver medicine and vaccines into critical regions. They had a $1 million deal for drone-based AI solutions for landmine detection. So the technology is unbelievable. Today's press release that we're talking about, DraganFly to deploy another 5 medical response drone systems into Ukraine. Cam, welcome back. Congratulations.
George, thank you so much, man. I just love getting to talk with you. You're just you just are passionate, and thanks for the consideration and having us on. We really appreciate it.
No, man. Look, you guys are doing. Look, you're doing fantastic things. You talk about your drones right now are being used for search and rescue in Ukraine, for people, for citizens, for soldiers, to deliver medicine by payload, by that's mind-blowing as a technology and heartwarming in terms of, you know, that you're actually able to use your technology to do really great things. So you kicked off May with a major milestone, this press release. Talk to us about what you're accomplishing with both Revive Soldiers Ukraine, that's the nonprofit that's making all this happen, and cold chain delivery systems.
Yeah, sounds great. So drones, they're obviously the last 10 years they've been a big story going forward, and their potential is enormous. And we've probably not seen it any more relevant than it is today in terms of what's happened in the Ukraine in terms of leveling the field and the role that drones are playing in warfare. And what's interesting about that is it's just not the big drones. It's not the Predators and the Reapers and such, but it's the small drones that are making a difference because people have access to them. And while we're not an organization, we've done lots of military contracting in our past, but we're not an organization that builds stuff that blows things up. We're an organization that builds stuff that hopefully helps humanity and builds things, and not the opposite.
Yeah, you're not a weapons for now, anyways. You're not a weapons delivery system. You're on the other side.
We don't.
Weapons are deployed. Someone needs to help. That's
yeah. We don't do ordnance, and that's it's a whole different business, and it's a whole different business structure, and a regulatory environment, and ethos, and all the rest of it. And so I certainly have. I pass no judgment on those that are building defensive weapons and and doing an incredible job like that for our military. But where we focus on is drones for good and humanitarian causes and missions, commercial missions. And so we've got this opportunity to really show what drones could do and how they can save lives and how they can be so efficient. And so we were down in Texas all last year, standing up a drone delivery system with Texas EMS and cold chain delivery systems. And what we're doing down there is deploying 2 types of drones. One that would be what's known as a DFR. A drone is a first responder that, as soon as a 911 call happens, this drone is deployed, typically gets to site before a truck will get there, and provide situational awareness. Is it a false alarm? Do they need more resources? Is it a violent situation? Is it escalating? Is there a crowd? What's the traffic? All kinds of things. And then there's a second drone that can deploy instantly as well, that can bring critical equipment. So it can bring in an AED or EpiPen or insulin or blood.
Whatever's required, whatever's needed.
Whatever the situation may require. And it can get there instantly. So even before the trucks get there, if you've got other personnel or people there on scene that can apply an AED and save a life, those are, and this is the future. This isn't the future. This is now. We're standing these systems up now. And so we developed the one medical response drone that has a 35-pound payload capacity. We started getting cold chain delivery systems, started getting calls out of the Ukraine, in particular from some NGOs and humanitarian organizations saying, we've been buying ambulances and using them to bring in equipment and supplies.
But the roads are rubble. The roads are rubble, or there are tanks on them.
They can't get through. They get confiscated. Their targets, and they're like, we need to be able to get, things like water or antibiotics is a really big one right now. People who are stuck, for days or weeks or months where they can't get access to antibiotics, but they might be wounded or hurt or injured or something like that. So they're like, this medical relief drone or response drone really seems to have promise. So we've deployed them in there. Now, what's interesting about deploying into this and why DraganFly, we kind of position ourselves as a solution provider, not necessarily a drone manufacturer, which is what we do.
Clearly, you don't got a bunch of drones flying around. They've got special skills. It's unbelievable the technical capabilities you guys have.
So we've got thermal cameras, we've got GPS systems, we had to rework all the comms because the LTE networks are over there, the radio frequency jamming, just the busyness of the frequencies over it. Like, it's just, and then just getting the equipment into the area. So understanding the logistics of how to do it, how to have the clearances to get it through the government channels, how to but we got them there, right? And they were deployed a couple of days ago, training oriented, and I believe they're on missions maybe today or by tomorrow. They're on missions, and so we're really thrilled. We're very hopeful. It has to go through some clearances, but we're very hopeful to have footage from those missions very soon.
I was about to ask you that. I was about to say, will you be able to pull some footage?
Because I think the impact, we got, these drones are saving lives today. That's that, and so,
let's not sugarcoat it, right? There are children right now who are having, or if not right this second, in the next 24 hours, having critical medicine sent to them when there's no hope. Because, like I said, either the roads are rubble, destroyed, or there are tanks on them, or they're getting medicine. Senior citizens get it. Soldiers are getting first aid, what they need, whether it's blood or whatever the case. It's just unbelievable. That's why people at home can't just think about DraganFly as a drone company.
Yeah, no.
The drone is delivering your technology, right?
You're right. It's what, in this case, we're not a drone provider. We're a provider of hope. That's, and in each commercial instance or each mission or each customer we take on, we always try to think about what is it that we're really delivering. So if we're working for a mining company or we're working for a forestry company, we're not a drone provider, right? We're a provider of the most critical data that forestry company has. We're because we provide them their yield analysis, their disease detection, their environmental analysis, their topographical information. So they don't care about the drone; they care about the data. And in this particular case, they don't care about the drone; they care about the antibiotics, right? And that's our mission. That's our solution that we've got to work with. So we're really excited about the footage that we're going to get back and the impact that it will make. And somebody said, geez, 200 drones, Cam, like, you're going to provide 200 drones this summer. I said, yeah, we're going to do it. We've tooled up, we're managing it, we're getting them out the door. And they're like, why do they need 200 drones? And it's like, because
there are 1 million or 2 million or 3 million people.
We have 4,000 drones. One of the missions of hope that we want to really deliver here is that we can overwhelm hope. We can overwhelm the odds. So that, right now, if you send an ambulance in and you've got 2 personnel and they don't get through and the ambulance is gone and the personnel are just, gone, or it's confiscated or whatever the case is, those people don't have a hope. You send a drone in, it gets through. If it doesn't get through, who cares? So if it gets shot down, who cares?
Send another
one. Like, just,
what's going to be amazing?
Talking about is much like the ordnance that was used to destroy the building cost more than the drone by 10 times. So who cares what the drone costs? Just get these supplies in there. And these, the people bringing the supplies in are 10 or 15 kilometers away. Right. So that they're not in danger. Right. They're now, but that said, one of the reasons that it needs to be North American drones with the type of security that we provide and encryption, et cetera, is because these drones can't be targeted. Right. And the controllers, the pilots can't be targeted. And there have been, some pretty well documented instances of drones that can be targeted that are made by some foreign manufactured countries that are manufactured drones.
That might be a little more friendlier to the cause.
Yeah, and so they want to make sure that the drones and the organizations that are providing them are secure. And so but that's part of the solution. And so we're really excited about it. And I have to tell you, the phone's been going off the hook. Not just from organizations, in the region, but from all over the world, discovering the capabilities that DraganFly has.
So technology, history has shown that some of the best technology, whether it's hardware, software, or a combination thereof, have their origins, or at least their testing ground, in the military or the military theater. So I've got to imagine that. Again, you're not ordnance, you're on the life-saving side, but I've got to figure, Cam, and correct, if I'm over assuming, tell me, but you must be attracting the attention of organizations around the world, not just for search and rescue medical, which would be massive as it is, but just organizations around the world saying, we need to call those guys, because if they can solve that problem this fast, then they can solve the GeorgeCom problem. Because I've got a real need, but I don't have to do it in 24 hours. Is your phone ringing off the hook just because the world is discovering DraganFly right now?
Yeah, it really is right now. It's I don't sleep great as it is, because I'm always up thinking about something. But the last week, just with the size of the sales pipelines, I was just like, we're just never going to keep up with the business for the next years. We're just never going to keep up with it. So that's a good problem to have.
Is this going to force you guys to rationalize in terms of you're going to have to pick 4 or 5 verticals? Because you're going to get a call from GeorgeCom Technology and say, hey, I need you to be able to pick up my chicken eggs, and you're going to have to say no to some people, not because you don't like the application, but your technology is exploding, but you're not going to be able to keep up with every vertical.
Yeah, no, well, we already have, and we've been doing that for the last year. I mean, the reason that we're at, I think we finished last year with 7.2, maybe 7.4, can't remember right off the top of my head, in revenue was, the reason it wasn't, exponentially higher than that was capacity, right? We did our Reg A financing and our IPO on NASDAQ, to build the capacity, because those orders were coming in. Yep. So we're pretty much there now. The capital expenditures are pretty much done. We're still sitting on, our Q1 numbers actually come out on Tuesday. So we're still sitting.
So we'll be back next week.
Yeah, so we'll be back next week, and I'll just leave it there. But so we're still sitting on a good amount of cash, but a lot of our capital expenditure is done. Our capacity is at a spot right now where we can, we're more than, we've been doubling every year, and that trend is going to continue. And we've got the capacity to do that. But even at that, we still have to, we should more than that. But even at that, we have to be selective about what we're choosing and doing. So, this particular product, this particular medical response drone really wasn't slated to be like commercial until, Q2 of next year. And boy, Ukraine.
You're thrown to the fire.
It's done. It's out. It's deployed.
You're thrown into the fire.
We've learned more in 3 days of testing in theater than we did in the entire last year, working, in Texas. The innovation that's happened just in the last 3 days has been just our engineers are just buzzing it. They're loving it.
And I want to give a shout out to them, because what does it say about your team that you're able to, I mean, this is almost like out of one of those, one of those Bruce Willis movies, right? You're a great company. Suddenly you're called in to save something, and you got to go from 0 to 1,000 in 30 days.
Yeah.
What does it say about your team's capabilities? Because you've always said you want DraganFly to be a top 2 drone solutions, drone technology company on the planet.
Yeah.
Man, you guys were really put to the test. You were just thrown to the fire. What does it say about your capabilities that you're able to deliver this like that?
I have never said this before. DraganFly is a great company.
Nice. Hey,
It's a
we
great
feel you right now. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love the emotion, the passion you've always had. But you know, let's face it, you're not making widgets. You're not a Gorcom doing social media posts. This is real life. This is real life saving. You know, if my tech team can't come up with a cool GIF for a meme this week,
George,
nothing matters. But for you guys, it's literally different between life and death. Literally,
you build dreams and you bring credible stories and real possibility to people, right? You separate, you know, the chatter from the reality, and what you do is incredibly important. And we're honored to be on and be able to be represented and work with you. That's so true. Please don't,
buddy. I thank you. But the fact that and you're right, and I thank you. But man, your tech team, you're looking at your tech team, you're telling them, guys, we need it. We need to do this and this and this, and we need to do it yesterday, because there are people in shelters on the ground, in the middle of the woods, all over this country strewn, and they need us yesterday. And your team delivered, man.
Well, you know, one of the greatest feelings I've had is, you know, in being an entrepreneur, and I've had luckily felt it a couple of times, but I felt it over the last 2 weeks, was I wasn't leading, right? I was just keeping up. Other people were leading. It was awesome. It is awesome. The innovation that's going into this thing is, and
someone's got to be the conductor. But hats off to your team. I mean,
they're amazing. They're
well, in fact, when this is all done and said and done, let's have one or two members of your, your techs, and let's have them on here, because it's going to be fascinating for them to give us from their perspective the all-nighters they're pulling off, trying to solve problems. I figure I almost picture Apollo 13 in my head, when the scientists on the ground had to figure how to get that, how to get Apollo 13 down with limited time and limited resources, and you guys pulled it off. By the way, I'm going to make a prediction, man. I think there's going to come a time, God willing, it's sooner than later, and this thing all comes to an end. But I'm going to make a prediction that we're going to see interviews from Ukrainians, both citizen soldiers, who are going to talk about these angels, these drones of mercy, that when their backs were against the wall and they were destitute and no chance of getting an ambulance or a doctor or any of those things, and they're going to say, in came the DraganFly drones. And I can't wait to,
Oh God, I hope you're right.
By the way, you're going to Ukraine. Is that something we can talk about?
We have a team going over into the area.
Can't say more than that.
Yeah.
But that's serious stuff. I mean, that's real.
We had, there's a lot of work to be done there, humanitarian work, rebuilding work, mapping, survey, specialized sensor work, mine detection, like it just, the list goes on. So, we have expectation to be doing a lot of work in the area, but we have expectations to be doing a lot of work all over the world right now.
Yeah. So So you've got multiple applications that you're going to be just adding on and adding on. Yeah.
I mean, we have new products coming out this year that now, whether it's on the medical response side, or the search and rescue side, or the situational awareness side, or whether it's our vital intelligence technology that reads heart rates and respiratory rates of survivors on the ground, or whether it's our new LiDAR systems that are coming out. We're busy. That's I have to be a little careful about what I say, but we're busy.
Yeah, because obviously you're in very sensitive. You're now inside a bubble where it's sensitive information.
Yeah, and of course I just I don't want selective disclosure of a lot of the great things that we have coming before we press release them and stuff. So, but there's some great stuff coming.
Cam, every time we talk, man, you and your organization, not you, but I mean not just you, but you're going to blow me away. Look, I've been doing this now over 25 years. April 23rd was our 25th year.
Nobody lasts that long in that game, buddy. You are tough.
And I've seen enough good companies, promising companies. And I'm going to say it right here. No, I can say, because I don't have to. You guys are in the 99th percentile of delivering cutting edge, real, usable with utility technology and solutions right now, right? There are a lot of companies who have had great promise, a lot of companies that have maybe one application and they've done okay or done really well, and that's great. But man, you guys are in the 99th percentile. You're in the top 1%. And I just can't wait to keep having these interviews to the next application for the next 3 years. Forget about the next 3 weeks or the next 3 months. So last word to you is to, how your shareholders should be feeling and what you want them to know.
Yeah, well, this, I think it's, markets are tough, valuations are down, our numbers are up. We got a good balance sheet. We're delivering. I think we've hit every commitment or promise that we said that we're going to hit. At this moment, I have every expectation that we're going to continue to do the same. And I believe, and our people believe, we're a company that's doing the right things. So the financial numbers are there, the people are there, and our mission's solid. So we appreciate the support and consideration.
And I'm gonna throw in, I've always been a big believer, even before DraganFly came along, we started working together, that drones and unmanned aerial vehicles, autonomous flying taxis. For the last 4 years, I'm pounding the table saying these are going to play critical, big, massive, paradigm shifting transportation and solutions roles in our lives. And it's happening right now. And if you're at home wondering, if agreeing with the same thing, then you just got to take a close look at DraganFly. We can't tell you what to do, right? But you got to do your research and say, you have the privilege of discovering DraganFly today, right now, before, prime time happens over the next 6, 12, 24 months. Doesn't matter what, it's going to be prime time. But actually, and on that last question, Cam, do you just see the drone solutions business just exploding in the next 5 years? I mean, is there anything that's going to get in its way other than just capacity?
Yeah, no, it's here. It's finally here. And, DraganFly has been around a long time. It was way early. And, 10 years ago when I first, bought into the company and put a little investment group together, and then eventually became part of management and CEO, which was never part of the plan, but it's the best accidental thing that's, one of the best accidental things that's ever happened to me is, it's been 10 years, but it's finally here. We're at the right place at the right time. Basically, we just lasted long enough to be at the right place at the right time. I thought this would be happening 10 years ago, but it didn't. And I was wrong. But it is happening today, and it's inevitable now. So we'll work 24/7 to.
Hey, Federal Express, FedEx, right? Fred Smith, he was one pay week away from going under. He had to borrow money for payroll because he was early. He saw what was going to. So a lot of great companies that come early. Nobody comes at the perfect time. Yeah. You come early. You got to find a way to survive. But man, for whatever survival you had to kind of deploy in the last 10 years, the next 10 years, I think is going to be a hell of a lot of fun and a big payoff potential for shareholders. And I can't wait to watch it.
I think so. Well, listen, we're certainly going to do our best, I hope, to make that happen.
All right. Next week, we're back again to discuss the Q. But in the meantime, Cam, to you and your team, congratulations, man, on delivering on the business side, on delivering growth, on delivering technology, and man, knowing that we're safe, knowing that we're all shareholders of a company that's saving lives. Awesome. I can brag about it to all my friends. See you next week.
You're the best, George. Thank you.
For everybody at home, you've been watching, or if you're listening to my podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple, your favorite podcast platform, to Cameron Shell, CEO of DraganFly, trades on the NASDAQ and Canada on the stock symbol DPRO. To start your due diligence, get the company's profile page in Agoracom, because look, it's drone technology solutions. It's not just drones. So we give you a good 1,000-foot overview there of the company, its technology, and it's all the contract wins and the great wins it's got. Once you've got that comfort and that foundation, go right over the company's website. You can see it right over Cam's head. Go right over the company's website, do your deep dive due diligence, because you believe in the future of drones and unmanned aerial vehicles and all the great things you're going to do in our lives. Just don't say we didn't tell you 12 months from now. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining us. See you next time. Hey guys, this video is over, but don't forget to help your company by liking it and even leaving a comment below. And then don't forget to help yourself by subscribing to our channel and never missing another great Agoracom small cap video.